Welcome, everybody, to this special episode of the Care Community, the CC webinar. And as the young talents are our future, we're going to talk about the the Youth Telco Circle. And my guests today are Map, Nashua, Manu, Pashin, Bartul, a house full, guys, on our webinar. And as said, today we're going to talk about their journey into telco and the reasons behind the foundation and the necessity of the Youth Telco Circle, the YTC. So to understand a little bit more about them, Map, can I give you the floor and show us a couple of slides, please?
Sure. Thank you so much, Eric, and thank you, Care Community, for this opportunity. We're so excited to tell you more about YTC and what the community is about, and also experience from our members. So I will give the floor now to Pashmin to start our presentation.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I want to start with something honest. When I first entered the industry, telecom, one of the most technically complex, commercially critical industries in the world, I was genuinely excited, still am. But I also remember that feeling early on of waiting for the right moment to speak up, that quiet internal voice that says, maybe a little longer, maybe wait until the room already knows your name. And I don't think I was alone in that. So my name is Pashmin. I'm a systems engineer at Sienna, and alongside two incredible people, Mab, a solution consultant from China Mobile, and Batul, a sales manager from Orange, we kept finding ourselves in the same conversation. Not about technology, not about strategy, about what it actually feels like to be young and ambitious in telecom right now. And about that gap between where you are and where you can see yourself going, and how quiet and long that gap can sometimes feel. So we did something about it. We built the Youth Telco Circle, and what started as a conversation between three people across three companies has grown into something much bigger, a community of young telecom professionals spread across multiple countries, with a YTC council of members from different corners of the world actively shaping what this becomes. We have Manu and Nashwa, part of the YTC council, with us here today. We'll get into that more as we go through the session. But first, why did we feel this was needed at all? Can you go to the next slide, ma'am? Yeah. So telecom is moving fast, and we already know that. AI, cloud infrastructure, subsea networks, data centers, automation, next-gen connectivity. The pace of change in this industry is genuinely remarkable. It's one of the many reasons we chose it. But here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. The industry evolves rapidly outward, the technology, the business models, infrastructure, but the way we grow people inside the industry, that tends to move slower. And there's a real gap forming between what the next generation of professionals expect from their career and what traditional paths have historically offered. So this isn't criticism of the industry or the companies within it. The issue is more structural. It's the gap between emerging expectations and existing models. And that gap, if left unaddressed, leads to young talent feeling disconnected, not from the work, but from a sense that they can truly contribute and lead now, not just eventually. So what does the next generation actually want? We want early exposure, purpose-driven work, and trust. Not trust that arrives as a reward in year 7, but trust extended early, when it can actually shape someone's trajectory. And here's what we genuinely believe. That's not an unreasonable ask. In fact, it's an enormous opportunity, because when organizations find better ways to meet young professionals earlier, to give them visibility, access, a real platform, what comes back isn't just loyalty, it's energy, a fresh perspective, ideas that the industry actually needs right now. That two-way bridge is exactly what YTC was built to create. So, who are we and what does that actually look like? So, imagine a space, and this is genuinely how we think about it, where the boldest young minds in telecom come together. Not to network in the way that word usually gets used, where you just shake hands and move on, but to truly connect across companies, across borders, across completely different backgrounds and cultures. We built YTC around three things: connect, curiosity, and confidence. So, connect, because the right network doesn't just open doors, it changes what doors you even thought to look for. And when you're building bridges across companies and countries, the conversations that happen are different. They're richer, more honest. Then curiosity, because telecom needs people who ask the uncomfortable questions, who look at how things have always been done and wonder whether they could be done differently. And young professionals tend to ask exactly those questions. And YTC gives those questions a room. Thirdly, confidence, because owning your voice and leading boldly shouldn't be a reward of years of service. It's something you can build from day one if you're in the right environment. So, what you gain from YTC is a community, thought leadership, career development, real industry engagement, and collaboration with people you'd never otherwise sit in the same room with. That is across webinars, panel discussions, mentorship initiatives, and knowledge sharing sessions where you learn directly from people who walk the path ahead of you. But what makes this different, what we think makes it matter, is that YTC isn't only focused on technical growth, it's focused on leadership, visibility, confidence, and belonging. That feeling that your voice has weight in this industry before the title on your business card says it does. So YTC is not just a network, it's a movement of young telecom professionals spanning countries and companies who are chosen to shape the future of this industry, not someday, but now. And honestly, I think we're just getting started. So on to you, Mab.
Thank you, Pashmeen. And as Pashmeen said, YTC is all about connecting people and spreading the word across industries and across countries. And this is what we find as strength, our team, our council, our extended hand all over the world. So what started with 3 girls in Dubai who just had an idea ended up being a big movement that has leaders from countries all over the world. So YTC is so proud to introduce its council, and I'm just going to go through them very quickly. But we have Manu, who is a sales director from Nexus One. We have Isabella, who is a manager for roaming from Telecom Austria. We have Hafsa, who is a marketing lead in eAnd. We have Jack, who is a strategic executive in Connect Base in London. And we have Daniel from APAC. He is a solution and product manager from CMI. And finally, we have Nashwa, who is an account manager in Siena. So with our team, we are able to not only reach more people, but show our strength as a community and come up with even more disruptive ideas. So just to give you a bit of statistics to have a feel of YTC, when we first started, we were just reaching out to our colleagues, our friends, trying to get the base of people who we trust the most. And we had, a humble number of 30 members. But then that rapidly grew with more exposure in events, with us trying to reach out to companies to connect with them, us trying to reach out to friends of friends and people we know in the industry. And soon YTC grew to 75 members in February of 2026. Up to date, we have a little over 100 members, and we aim to continue growing to reach 500 by the end of this year. Maybe an ambitious goal, maybe a humble one, really all depends on how we take things moving forward. So again, YTC has a representation in many different companies across industries. Just to name a few, we have CMI, Orange, Vodafone, Ericsson, Nokia, Telin, Sienna, and even Amazon. And we are proud to be represented in over 5 countries, 60% representation in telco and ICT operators, 30% for cloud and digital tech, and a bit over 10% for telco infrastructure. And now when we think about the essence of our community, we want to give the young people the voice. We want to give them the platform to be able to speak up and to be able to show who they truly are and what they have to offer in the industry. And this is where we always believe that listening is key. And through that, we came up with this idea of reverse mentorship. So we tested this out in an event recently here in Dubai, where we gave the mic to the youth. So they had the chance to bring in their perspectives on technology, culture, workplace expectations, etc. And then we also had leaders and CEOs and managers in the room who were there to listen. So they had to engage directly with these young professionals and understand their realities, understand the challenges they're going through with no judgment and just listening. And in this way, we found that both parties grow and both parties benefit. So it's a two-way exchange, as Pashmeen mentioned earlier, and it builds mutual respect and drives this transformation that really we are aiming for. So from one-off listening to ongoing engagement, YTC will bring this perspective from the young professionals. It will encourage this dialogue that would empower them to not only speak up, but also feel like they are equally valued and respected in the community. And then on the other hand, we have platforms such as Carrier Community that is really an enabler for YTC. And they provide us with this space to connect, to a broader audience and to actually amplify our voices. So with collaborations like this, we have our shared ambition of extending mentorship, of continuing to learn and continuing to lead as well. And with that, I will pass the mic to Batul to tell us a little bit about what we've been up to in the past couple of months.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Ma, Bashmeen, and the entire YTC Council for making this happen and for working, a lot in bringing this great community together and creating this kind of space for the youth to basically collaborate, grow, and share ideas. So I will take the next few minutes to share more about the initiatives, events, and experiences we are building through YTC, and most importantly, how these create value for young professionals in telecom. One of the key things we need to understand is that YTC is trying to create spaces where young professionals can grow beyond their day-to-day roles. So we are trying to do that through different platforms. First of all, we have the webinars and the podcasts. So these are basically done where we invite extremely great personalities in our webinars to share and speak about leadership, resilience, navigating uncertainty, career growth, and personal development. These conversations are really important because many young professionals today are not only looking for technical growth, but they're also trying to navigate pressure, visibility, confidence, long-term career development within the industry. And these are actually addressed in our events. It's also very important to understand that beyond this formal, trying to do things, trying to grow your career, we are also trying to nurture collaboration and connections and friendships. Basically, Mab and Bashmin, I met them in some of the events, and then now we became really friends, and now we have the YTC Council, and we really enjoy our Sunday coffees and breakfast. So basically, what we're trying to say here is that we're trying to basically connect people from across the world, across the industry, and trying to have these very informal conversations that can feel very relaxed. But at the same time, we talk about really things which are really important. Basically, somebody who's trying to manage something outside of their work, for example, Manuel here, I'm not sure if it's okay to say, but he has his own startup on the side of his job. So these are really inspirational things that we find out in our catch-ups and in our meetups, alongside what we are doing together with organizations like Career Community, GLF, GSMA, all those, and also our internal events where we're trying to, spark those conversations around, resilience, confidence, even personal finance. So this is just to sum up what we are trying to basically do and what we are trying to encourage people today. And thank you so much, Career Community, for giving us this platform to share our story and to share with you our community and to grow this community with you. Basically, we are trying for more collaboration, more mentorship, more meaningful industry engagements. And this is really happening when everybody come together and try to feel everybody heard. Just today I saw someone, in one of our, like, we are planning some session, and somebody said that nothing is confidential, and that was really interesting, because sometimes we hide, we keep, but I think the idea of this community is really to be like all the way there, sharing, growing together, and really making this whole process feel very human. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Batul. And maybe now I'll pass the mic to Manu first to share his story and his experience with YTC, and then Nashwa.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much again, YTC, for inviting me to join your community and Career Community for organizing this session. So to reintroduce myself, I'm Manu. I'm Sales Director for Nexus One, covering the APAC region and the Middle East Africa. I joined the YTC in recently, and I was really said like, oh yeah, like this community, it could be great to share more all of our experience and knowledge around it. So basically, I'm not in the telecom industry directly. The solution I offer is a digital transformation. So my contribution is how we can help the telecom industry or other like carriers or fiber to digitalize, to make their digital transformation. And so far, my experience with the community has been very productive. We have been doing a lot of brainstorm on how we can make the community grow. As you see, like there's the coffee that we had the Sunday a few time ago. We organized also a webinar, a pre-internal webinar to see how uncertainty, to speak about how uncertainty can be perceived between each other. And yes, we saw that it was a great opportunity to drive better the real-time solution. And yeah, my wish to gain with this community is this reverse mentorship that has been put in place. It is very great, and also to share my expertise in sales and negotiation, plus the human element in the technology. But as well to learn from the technical insight from each other, and of course to make the community grow, to build my network, so that when we all grow and we will have a higher position, like a higher C-level position, we will all be aligned and all be connected together.
Thanks, Manu. Thanks, Ma'ab. So one thing I've realized early in my career is that the most meaningful growth doesn't happen alone. It happens through people, conversations, and shared experiences. Hello, everyone. My name is Nashwa, and I'm an account manager at Sienna based in Dubai. I joined the telecom industry about 3 years ago through Sienna's Early in Career program after studying engineering and completing a master's degree in international business. And when I started in this industry, what immediately stood out to me was how central this industry is. Not just to connectivity, but also to innovation and digital transformation on a global scale. And over time, I realized how fast-moving and interconnected this industry is, and how much learning comes simply from being exposed to different people and different challenges. And as my journey evolved, I became part of YTC, which has been a very valuable experience for me. And I want to thank Pashmin, Ma'ab, and Batul for this opportunity. So YTC basically brings together young professionals across the industry who are navigating similar journeys while creating a very safe space to connect, exchange ideas, and learn beyond our day-to-day roles. And personally, it has helped me broaden my perspective on telecom, strengthen my professional network, and learn from people with different experiences, different backgrounds, and different leadership styles. And if we reflect on this, what makes communities like this truly important is that they remind us that growth doesn't happen in isolation. It happens through exposure, collaboration, and learning from one another. So I'm very grateful to be part of YTC community, and I look forward to continue to learn, contribute, and grow alongside it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Nashwa. And yeah, I think that's it for YTC. We would love to keep growing, and we'd love everyone to be part of our movement. That's all we have, Eric, and the floor is yours.
Well, I have to say, well done, everybody, and I love the story that what has inspired you for the creation of the YTC, the Youth Telco Circle, and what gap in telecom, and also for you, Manu, on the digital transformation, actually, which supports actually massively the telco, and it should. So you're on your spot right there, so perfectly. So and also the what gap in the telecom and the digital industries, you know, it aims to fill. Now, Map, if I may start with you. Who is actually the typical member of the YTC so far, and what drives them to join this global community? What should they bring? What are you looking for?
We're looking for someone who's ambitious. We're looking for someone who wants to learn, and we're looking for someone who wants to meet like-minded people. At first, you know, we had this idea that we want to keep it, you know, in telco because our industry is so niche and we don't have a lot of representation. But then as we grew, we noticed that no, our doors are open for everybody. You know, anyone who needs this kind of space to grow, to learn more, to meet new people is welcome in YTC. And we're proud to have people who are here in the UAE, people in Europe, in Americas, in APAC. We have all different types of personalities. We have the shy ones, we have the outgoing ones, you know. So really, there is no perfect or ideal member. We just want someone who wants to be a better version of themselves.
All right, now cool. Manu, I mean, how does the YTC create opportunities, for instance, for let's say cross-border collaboration among young professionals? What's your take on that?
Well, so far, I would say the networking. I have met Batul, Mab, Nashwa, Ashmin. Like, we are all from different entities, and the idea is to actually the brainstorm around how can we make each other grow. So on the rough idea, we don't really have a way to do it, but by brainstorming, we can say, okay, what is your use case? How can we help on that? So when we just by introducing each other, just by saying what is our mission, then we can understand, okay, so you're doing this, so I can help you with that. Or I have this issue, can you help me with this? Or just in a cultural side, as we are like from everywhere in the world, like I want to penetrate the European markets. Okay, I know someone in my company who's taking care of your market. I can make the introduction, etc., etc.
Yeah, I would just like to add what Manu was saying. It's also about networking. I feel like RTC gives you that opportunity to network with all these people that you might not, I know we do meet a lot of people during conferences and the events that we have within our companies, but I feel it's a bit different when it comes to interacting with people from a wider gambit. So because of YTC, we just stay connected, stay in touch, and I think that's very important. Yeah.
So,
To add something,
Nashwa.
yeah, I agree with Pashmin and with Manu. Definitely, it's the networking. And as I said, it's a safe place for young talents. So we can discuss, we can exchange our ideas without the fear of being judged sometimes. And yeah, we are learning from each other. And we are all in different roles. So we definitely learn from each other. And this is something that's really good.
I mean, launched by the youth and for the youth. That's your slogan. What do you wish someone had told you earlier in your career?
Well, I wish that someone had told me that everything is going to turn out okay. You know, when you're young and you have all of these ideas and you have all these ambitions, you tend to rush yourself and put some deadline that is most likely unrealistic, you know, to get everything in place and achieve everything that you've wanted to. But the reality is you should take your time, you should slow down your pace and really allow yourself to go through all the phases and, you know, like really spend some time learning how to improve yourself, and maybe those goals would actually change with time. So no need to rush yourself to achieve something, no need to actually put pressure on yourself, especially at a young age, because everything will happen and will blossom really with time.
So what you're talking about is actually confidence. People, the let's say the mentors should have give you some confidence. Pashmin, do you agree, or is it sometimes that you want to hear, let's say, the confidence, but it also should come from yourself, and that support needs to be more? Is that to understand it?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like confidence, yes, it should come from within. But if you're given that sort of platform to just be yourself, and I feel like you will shine.
And
If
make
you're,
mistakes, and
yes.
you're allowed to make mistakes, right?
Exactly. So at this age, what all of us have gone through early in our career, I feel like if we are given that sort of environment just to be ourselves and, make mistakes, I feel like that really boosts your confidence along the way. I'm sure people who are sitting in senior positions right now, they have made mistakes in the past, and I'm pretty sure people have told them also that, it's fine. This is how you learn. I feel that's why they are where they are today. You don't reach that position without making mistakes, because mistakes only makes you grow and you learn from them.
Well,
That's
trust me, I'm not the youngest anymore, and trust me, I made so many mistakes, and I got away with it. So that's only a good thing, right? Manu, what gaps do you see in mentorship actually for young professionals in tech and consulting? What do you see?
What I would say is understanding the process, because when we are speaking about technology, we need to define what kind of technology are you referring to? What is really the problem or the issue that you try to resolve before serving the technology or the solution straight away? And this is one of the things we tend to forget when we are sent on the field. We just okay, like this is the solution, sell it straight away, while we don't understand necessarily what's the proper use case and what's the pain point from each individual. And that was like I have around like few years of expertise in sales, and every time I switched from one industry to another, and I was learning every time every industry from the scratch. So telco, I'm in the telecom for over a year now, so I had to learn from from the beginnings to understand what are the everyday life, what people are trying to solve. But also, of course, in digital transformation, there's always some cases that are coming back, some issues that are coming back. But typical to telco, it's always good to ask to the people, to the team, to the mentor, okay, our solution, what is it for really? We are doing this, but for what at the end? Like the question for what is not all the time asked. And I would say that that's one of the things that we are missing. And the last point is, once the solution is purchased, is how are we going to implement it? And I've seen so many cases, so many failures where a solution has been purchased, implemented, but not deployed properly. And that is coming from we call it change management. And many times, especially the people who have been staying in the company for quite many years, and we tell them, okay, this is the new system, this will help you. Yes, the answer is yes, but I've been doing it for so many years.
Yeah.
Why would I change it now? And in general, this is where the implementation failed. And that's a whole team effort, not just from the provider, but or the supplier, but also from the client perspective. And that's one of the biggest challenge, I would say, that we're facing.
Okay. Nashua, did you have mentors who significantly shaped your career direction or confidence?
Yes, definitely. I was lucky to have a mentor and coach and a mentor. Definitely it helps because, as we discussed, telecom evolves very quickly, and this help our journey and facilitates everything, especially at the beginning. We don't have that confidence to do everything like by ourselves, and especially like in a sales role where you have to communicate everything and to deal with the customers. So yes, mentors definitely help in expanding the professional network, in encouraging in the long-term thinking, and definitely it helped me build my confidence.
Okay. Map, how can seniors help evolve this initiative? I mean, what can we seniors do?
I think, well, the first thing is what we planned with our reverse mentorship is that they can listen more. They can open their doors to mentees, and this is something we were a bit struggling with, is that whenever we bring up the topic of mentorship, the issue from the leader's side is that, well, there is no one who wants to be mentored. But then from our side, we're like, well, everybody wants to be mentored. It's just we are not finding that feasibility to go up to you and ask you to mentor me. So if they can maybe take the initiative from their side to be more welcoming of younger people to take on, and ask them to shadow them, for example, or have these like coffee chats with them, this would definitely help us and help the people in our community.
No, and as Nashua actually just explained that she had a mentor, and that helped. I think it should be in every company, and not only for young people, if I may say so, but for everybody, who comes into a company. Take the time, make sure that they can adjust, that they feel confident, provide them the confidence, and proactively, and especially for the young people, for the young talents, make sure that you provide them all the support they need and let them make the mistakes, whatever. It's all fine. It's all good. There's always a fallback scenario, and but the support and the attention to it is important, and therefore I really, really, really would tell to all the companies, not only telco but worldwide, make sure you find the time, because every minute you put into the young talent, they will be, as you mentioned at the beginning, once you will have also the title on your business card, digital or the old paper one, doesn't matter. But one day you will have that as well. And the sooner get into a company, into the culture, into the solutions and the services, the more confident you feel, and the more confident, and the better you will perform actually by the end of the day. So that will be my outcall to all the companies around the world. Now, Mab, just a quick one. On the YTC, what is the vision of the YTC for next year? I mean, we saw already that you really would like to see some extra growth. You're more than 100 members already. So, what is your aim for the coming year or coming years? What is the big picture?
Well, I think obviously our top goal is to be a recognized community worldwide. So we want YTC to be on the tongue of every leader and every conference. People would know what our community is and they would be referring to it. Young people who are getting into the industry would already know that there is a space that they can join. So this is really where we're trying to head at. If we're looking more short term, well, we're planning a lot of exciting events for the rest of this year. Actually, next week, we're hosting a webinar for our community about uncertainty and thriving as well. So this is one thing. And then we're hosting an event with Sienna that Nashwa and Pashmin are organizing, more of a meetup, to kind of, and a cross collaboration as well, like YTC X Sienna. And we're trying to do more of these with different telco operators and different companies as well, just to get that kind of exposure and just to put our name out there as well. So I feel like this is our goal and plan.
Get the word spread, right? And make sure everybody knows about it, right? That's what it's all about.
Yes, definitely.
Pashmin, if somebody wants to join the YTC or get involved, how to reach out to you guys, and what would be your advice for making the most of it for themselves with the YTC?
So as YTC, we have a lot of social media channels. We are very active on social media. We have LinkedIn, we have Instagram. We love to, when we get together, we love to make reels. That is the thing for this generation. And we also have a WhatsApp community where we post about our events, and we have informal chats just to keep check with everyone and what everyone's up to, and when we can do the next meetup, the hangout, and even plan for webinars, how they can make the most of it. So firstly, of course, we have seen so many members. We have seen YTC grow till this date. This has also been done, of course, through social media and through word of mouth. I know a lot of people got in people that they knew, and just all of us being more vocal. That's what I feel. If you tell us what you want, we can make it happen. If there's something that you think that you need to work on, whether it's like communication, presentation skills, or just trying to grow the ladder, mentorship, everything, you just be vocal and we can make it work.
And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it, of your initiative, of the YTC. You help each other.
Yes.
Worldwide.
Exactly.
And that's fantastic. Now, let me do a quick round at the end of this webinar, and give me, let's say, a quick characteristic or whatever you want to say for the Youth Telco Circle, the YTC, and what people should remember. And Nashwa, if I may start with you.
Sure. So YTC, as we said, it's a safe environment for everyone. We want active participants, people who are willing to share their experiences openly, people who have curiosity and open to learn from others, who have, of course, the collaboration mindset and commitment to continuous engagements.
Okay, Manu.
Join the community so we can connect together, grow together, and make the best out of us.
So let me go to Pashmin. Pashmin, what is your takeaway for the people out there?
Takeaway. So YTC is where ambition meets its people. So it's not a club that you join when you've made it. It's the community that helps you get there. So built by the people, who are still on that journey themselves. That's all.
Fantastic. Map, famous last words.
Invest in yourself. If you care about your journey, if you care about your growth, invest in yourself and join a community like YTC.
And ladies and gentlemen out there, it couldn't be more clear than those words and takeaways from all the beautiful people, young people in this webinar. So I would like to thank Map, Pashmin, Bartul, Nashua, and Manu for, and of course, the complete council and all the members and the new members, hopefully soon, from the YTC for joining me here in this CC webinar. And thank you for your great insights and sharing your perspectives. It has been fantastic having you guys. Thank you so much. And also, of course, a big thank you to all the viewers and listeners of this webinar brought to you by Carry Community. And we'll be back soon with more interesting topics, podcasts, and webinars. So stay tuned. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best. And wherever we, as a Carry Community, can support you, we will. And get out there and be feasible, visible, and make sure that you grab everybody and let them support you.